Ruby, say hello. Well, this say hello. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Um, Thank you for joining me today on episode 14, where we will be talking about the March dye project, and which was not fun, guys. It was not fun. Um, we actually did two of them because the first one was so bad. So hang in there, because oh, it's there's a lot to go over. Anyway, we're going to start with, oh hey, what I'm wearing. Hey, look at this. This is now this was finished last time. This is up for testing in my Ravelry group. So if you want to test it, stocking knit with old Shale edge, head to the Ravelry group and sign up. There are all of 4 members in there. Welcome to the 2 members that I don't know yet. Glad to have ya. So if you want to go there, I think that's going to be like for the time that I'm not here. The discussions will take, I'll probably put a thread in there about podcasts, and if you have any questions about anything you see here and you don't want to comment, YouTube's kind of hard to once it get going, so we could probably do that there, but I'm slowly moving stuff there to be, I don't know where to go. I don't know, but I figure testnet, that's probably the best place. Everyone that I see doing testnets is, or knit alongs and testnets, is in the Ravelry group. So I started one of those. Pretty sure you knew that, but you can go there now, and we'll do this one March maybe, and then we can do the lace in April if anyone bothers to show up. But anyway, I don't have a name for this yet. We gotta come up with a name. This is my top from Cascade 220. I don't know the color. It wasn't the color that I thought I was getting, I could tell you that, because I thought it was burgundy, and it is quite clearly a dark purpley wine color, which is fine, but I already have one in the color, and I wanted something redder, which to me burgundy is a red, not a wine. I'm kind of nuts when it comes to naming colors, and I hate when someone's like pink, and I'm like, well, what kind of pink? Because there's like 50 million pinks. Do you want like a baby pink? Do you want a hot pink? There's a whole bunch of pinks in between. So I don't like when, I hate shopping online because I can't see it and, a representation. I got this on Lovecrafts, right? Lovecrafts maybe. And I thought it was the right color, but I didn't realize that Cascade has, I went to their website to see their line of 220, am I saying 220? It's the non-superwash Peruvian Highland base. And there were like a bunch of reds, and I was like, oh my gosh, I had like a whole bunch I could have chose from, and I didn't have to get stuck with one that I already, had, which I didn't know at the time. I did not know that it was purple. I mean, it's fine. It's a gorgeous color. I like it. I have this color in like a silk. Well, then I got it in a wool base now. So anyway, that's what I'm wearing. These are on my Ravelry page. They're nothing. Free pattern. Oh, this isn't, but it's like $1, I think. Also finished February dye project. What do we call this? Love Eternal. Okay, guys, I gotta show you. We ended up with 1.04. And I do believe my let's see, my rows were like 1.04 8.2 grams and 113 grams. So I was like so close to being able to eke out another one, but then I wouldn't have enough for weaving in and stuff. So anyway, I did a couple things different that I want to talk to you about. First is the cast on, which kind of looks a little funky to me. I'm not sure if it's worse. Oh, I don't even know if you can see this. If it's worse or better than the garter tab cast on. Really not sure. Because it still is not straight across. Because the one on the lace that I looked up, I started that in 2018. So I have no idea what it is. I don't have any notes from that at all. Well, maybe somewhere, maybe they got thrown away. So I'm not sure what cast on I'm doing for this month's dye project. Because this kind of, it does, I just can't ever get them to lay flat. Can you see it's like poking out on the side? I hate that. I just don't like it. I mean, how often do you wear it like that though? Usually I wear they're all scrunched up and you don't even see it, right? So I guess it doesn't matter. I did eyelets for both sides. The middle spine is the same. Don't look at my face. The middle spine is the same. Is that cat hair? I'm sorry, it's covered in cat hair. Of course it is. The middle spine's the same. I'm trying to think. At the end, I did take the point all the way down, which means for these garter ridges, I keep the midpoint stockinette. So that goes all the way down to the bind off. That is a stockinette. So knit or purl. Don't purl that on the wrong side. And the ending was a little bit different from the January dye project, because this was bound off on the right side. So our bind off on the red, or our ending on the red, we had after we did our third garter ridge, so we passed back doing a knit row on the wrong side. We had enough for one more knit row before we did the bind off. For this one, we did the third garter ridge on knit row on the wrong side, and we didn't have enough for another row, so the bind off went right there. So this bind off is front ways and the other bind off is backwards. So that's another thing we can look at when we compare them side by side. I don't have a way to do that yet, but with spring coming, I'm probably going to be moving once the sunroom is, we have a sunroom and it's gorgeous and it's my favorite place to be. If you're on Instagrams, you've seen pictures of it. It's with all the dogs laying on the ground looking out the window. That's my beautiful sunroom. I spend all spring, summer, fall there. I can't wait for it to open this year so we can get in there, and but we might have better light in there, so I'm still trying to come up with a way. I tried to in here, but the light just, it's not. I was very upset because I was like, oh, I thought of a way, and I was gonna hang them up like this and go, but there's just not enough light in here, so I gotta think of another way to do that. But still, we could look at this a little bit. I can't compare it to the other one, so we'll just look at it like it's its own. So we got I like these two V's. We got the V's. What I thought was really cool is, if you go like this, look at all these red bits, and then the black ones. that go all the way. I feel like it's not as stripy as the other one. Like just not as, I don't know, maybe it's hard because I gotta make sure I hold it against me or it's too see-through, you can't see it. So see again, we got the reds and then the blacks. But we don't have a lot of this striping, or I guess maybe we do and I'm just not noticing it. I don't know, it is really different from the green one and I just want to get them, you know, side by side so we can, you know, see how they, but I mean, from this front, I just like how it just looks really, lots of interest in the, I mean, so did the other one, so really cool, really, really cool. So I'm excited to see how March and April, and then that's the end of the dye project of the shawl portion, because there's only 4. And then I'm going to get into other things. We do some actual like projects, shorts, some cowls, and then we go back to different base, because these are all in the same base to properly, you know. So by the time April's is done, so then hopefully in May we can do some sort of, I would like to have for my business, I would like to have maybe a standalone video of showing all the different dye patterns and how they work up in the shawls. And maybe I'll have different shawl, I won't have different shawls made by that time, but okay. Maybe that's something I have to work towards. I have to make, dye up more of these and do them on different. Anyway, do I have anything else to tell you about this? No, it's pretty much the same as the other one. I haven't yet decided. I think I am going to do the yarn overs just because I make less mistakes that way. But I don't know if it's necessary. I mean, I guess because if we do that for this one, if we do this one, this has, I do not want to put that on this one just because it's so not, but I don't know if, I got to think about it still. I'm not quite sure. I haven't quite decided that. Okay. 2 other finished. I have finished the triangle experiments. This one came out fantastic. Look at our ends. Those weren't even cut. That was just them. And then this one is, oh God, it's got a long, I probably should have bound that up. This has got a bit, but still couldn't get another row. So these we're going to talk about next episode. The next episode is going to be the triangle experiments and how those all worked out. Okay, so moving on to our whips. This is my night whip. The top, look at how much is done on this already. Okay guys, here's what happened. This looks like the same base, doesn't it? It's not. This is about the same color on a Cascade 220. The other base had alpaca in it, and I got part of the first thing done, and it was not going to work as a top. It just, the alpaca and the silk just was working against me with it having a tight enough weave to not be see-through. So I decided those are 2 worsted weight skeins, so I'm thinking of making something else with them. I'm not sure what yet, but something else, like a shawl probably, because in all reality, that's all I make. So here's my night one. So we just started, I did the very first row of the ribbing all over. So we work 110 rows of ribbing. So This is not going to take me all month. I don't know what I'm going to work on after. I mean, I have more tops, obviously, but eventually I'm going to run out of tops to make, and then I don't know what to do. So, maybe my weekend ones will be easy enough that I can take whatever my weekend one is and make that a night one. I don't even know. I really don't know. Speaking of weekends, I started this one a little bit early because I had nothing to work on because I finished everything else like the day before. Like I finished everything Friday, and then I can tell you. Okay, I finished the triangle. Dye project was finished Thursday. Friday, the second triangle was finished, and then Saturday, the top was finished. So, between Saturday and Sunday, it was still a weekend, so I guess it counts. I actually started on, okay, first of all, I'm an idiot, you guys, because remember this whole time, I'm like, I need something that has the same yardage as this base. What do you think this is? This is Tina's. And guess what? As my regular viewers know, me and Tina use the same base. This is Tina. This is the same cashmere base. This is her sock base. This is the same base, you guys. It's the same base. So I'm not using the Honey Girl Farms one that I wanted to, the Brianna, which I think I want to do like this. I want to do half this. Here's my thought for this one. I'm going to do it with the eyelets on here, stocking it down, and then I'm going to do the mesh on the bottom part. That's what I think I'm going to do for that one. So that can come later. But here's what we did. So look at the beginning of this. Can you see the beginning? Hold on, my needles are hitting the microphone, and I can't see if I'm showing it to you. Do you see this gorgeous beginning right here? This cast, because cast on's right here, okay? What, do I have to go like this? The cast on's right here. So look at how that looks like the rest of the row. That looks like the rest of the row, right? Can you see it? I can't, and if it sees my face, it's gonna start focusing on me. Anyway, trust me, it's gorgeous. No idea what I did. I have no idea what I did at all. No idea. I was like this close to frog, because I frogged this back to the first it had like 6 holes? 6 holes, I think. So I frogged it back to the 6 holes. And I was like, well, is it really that much to frog back so I could take apart the cast on? And I was like, it's too perfect, just leave it, we'll look at it, we'll try something else. So when I work on the March dye project, I'm going to try to figure out what I did here and see if I can recreate it, because this is exactly what I want. So anyway, making good progress. This is so hard to see before it's blocked. So we have 2, I am weighing after every repeat. This will get a total of 5 repeats. I think that's why I was trying to make it less, so I could get 6 repeats instead of 5, because 5 is an odd number. I don't like odd numbers. Anyway, I'm weighing after each, because it's a stockinette repeat, and then the mesh repeat, mesh lace. So after each repeat, I'm going to weigh my yarn and see where we're at. This one I forgot until I was like 2 rows into the stockinette, so I took a measurement there, but it's not accurate. So I totally forgot that I had this on deck and was ready to go. So this is we're testing out the mesh lace triangle, and this will be ready for testing next month. Or I might just have everything up for testing and then be like, which one are you going to test this month? Whichever. I mean, I obviously need to be more active on social media and in the groups and getting more people to find me. weekend, night. Oh, my test knit, which I'm not going to show you. It's just a shawl. It's a garter shawl. Once it's done, and well, I mean, I'll show you once it's done, and then I'll show it to you again when it's released in case you do want to make it. But I didn't see any point of showing you my progress because it's not going to be released till this summer, I think, or this summer, fall. I don't know. Not yet. Squishy mail. I have one piece of squishy mail. This is from Teton Yarn Company again. Oh yeah, she was on the virtual that thing on Facebook. Virtual Fiber Festival, I think. Teton Yarns. I've bought for her before, but I haven't made her thing yet. When she had after hours, that thing was like really, really dark with pink and red in it, and I didn't think it was going to show up, and then it showed up, and it was beautiful. This is called Chokecherry, 100% Peruvian wool, 437 grams to 100 yards. This is that zebra, but the color was so up my alley that I had to have it because it's this really dark red. It's not quite as berry as it's picking up here. It's more, what are you seeing that you don't want to focus on this for? There we go. It's this color. So you can see some of the zebra stripe, barber pole. There we go, some right here. I really like this color. I think it's gonna be a shawl. What else would it be? I don't know. It's gonna be a shawl. I'll link her below too. Okay, so dye project, are you ready? I told you we did two because one was so terrible. I was thinking I was not going to show you guys this first one because it came out so bad. And then, so I dyed it on Monday and it looked terrible. And before it was even done, I'm like, I can't use this. This is unusable. This is going to be over dyed with black, so I can have a black skein, which is fine because one of my mohair things that I wanted to make, I have this red and Jesus wine that stains. This is Haute knit yarn. Abigail mohair, 72% kid mohair, 28% silk, 459 yards. This is from. This looks like just the one I just showed you, doesn't it? Seriously. Why do you not want to... We're going to do this again? Jeez, oh man. Okay, so see how it's like black and red? So, I wanted to take this with black and make another Midas hat because I love the Midas hat so much. And on my list of things to do in this year is to make something with mohair. So I'm gonna make a hat because I like my Midas hat and I wanted that as a hat. So anyway, this skein, that was the, I don't want to call it an oops. This will be overdyed black, and then I'll make it, work it up with that. That'll be fine. Because I needed a black. I was just going to go through my black fingering scraps to make a hat. Like, just look for scraps. But you can just use this instead. First skein. Okay. I guess I'll show it to you first, and then we'll go over the math. So it's, I don't even want to show you this. Here's the problem. Do you see where the problem is? So here's fine. This join, fine. Is it picking up my necklace? I mean my pin. Is it picking up my pin? 25. 25. Okay. Okay, let's try this again. So let's make sure I cover that. Okay, this join is okay. Where these colors meet. I mean, there's some, that blue just got oh my goodness. Got everywhere. That join's fine, and this join is okay. Hold on, I'm trying to pull this up here so I can hide my shawl pin and my face so we can show these. I can't see what you're seeing though, is my only problem. I'm trying to see what you're seeing. See, the joins aren't bad. They're not the best. This blue is absolutely not this color that you're seeing. This is not an electric blue. It's a really deep royal. My problem with this color, and I don't think you're going to be able to see it, is, can you see here, right here? The red stroke, okay, this blue is red and cyan. It's magenta and cyan mixed together. I think it's 2575. There's no black in this color. This is the full 1% color. Does not look at all. Remember, we do this. We compare it. We compare it to, so this is my actual rainbow here, the actual colorful rainbow. It is this one. 25 magenta and 75 blue. And if I can show you this to you, it doesn't match at all. Not at all. So I don't know what happened here. If something happened with my, I don't know how that happened. I mean, some of it I can see. But you want to see the join? When I did this, it was so terrible, guys. It was just absolutely, it was a monstrosity. I have those chip clip things, right? And so I measured everything off, which was a pain to start with. And look at those, they're almost even. They're almost even. Almost even. Oh, can you see here better? I can't see what you're seeing. Do you see the difference? The color's coming in too wrong. But this that looks like a darker blue is actually a purpley blue. Okay, if you watch Rebecca from Chemnitz and you watch any of her, like when she's breaking colors or when she talks about certain red dyes, usually for her food colorings, but also for acid dyes, the red binds faster than blue. So when you're first doing this, it looks purple. It looks purple on the yarn. It looks purple. You're like, oh my God, that yarn is purple. What did I do? I think one of my problems was I'm dyeing on a different table, and I don't think my scale likes that table. And so I switched to a different table, and I thought it was working there, but I don't think it was, because the color came out the same the second time around, and it shouldn't have. Plus, this is the first time I got a new, oh, I was going to bring the paperwork in here. It's a heater thing. This for the catering pan goes into, and it's full of water, and it heats up in the steam, and then you use your pan on top of that. You know what I mean? So I got one of those because the hot plates, the double hot plates, weren't cutting it. So this was my first time using it, and I think my temperature was not high enough. But the problem was I did the gray first, because I usually always start with the lightest color first. That's usually how I start. And I had some chip clips here, and it just wicked horribly. I mean, it didn't wick the blue, just the cyan color that is like, right? That's pure cyan, and that's pretty close. So not only was the cyan wicking up, it didn't fully exhaust, which means I didn't get the blue that I wanted, because that left it with too much red. So the blue did not fully exhaust. I could not get the blue to exhaust in either one, and there was so little dye, I don't know what was going on, and I put so much acid in there. I thought I was going to destroy the yarn. So I'm never doing blue again, so don't ask for it. It's never happening. I'm just kidding. But it's weird, because that green, yellow and cyan, that's how I got that green. I didn't have any of that problem with the green at all. None. All took fine. I don't know what the problem is. But you can see, like, if you're in person, you can see the red, I mean, in parts, red, purpley. Like, this looks like tonal. It looks like I put it in dry and had acid in the water already. Like, it looks terrible. It looks absolutely terrible. So anyway, that's going to be, but I thought we'd talk about some of the math anyway, because what I did with this one is I put it in thirds. So I divided everything. I thought of an easier way to explain this math to you. So everything, I did this all as a third of the skein. Okay, boom, 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 third. Okay, a third, boom, boom, boom. But I'm never going to do that again. And here's why. Because if you're making one skein, that's fine. And it's also a lot of labor to do one skein that way. If I was going to do, like, you might as well hand paint it at that point. But I had 3 dishes in my hotel pan thingy, so it was cool. But if that's in the hotel, I can't think of the other name, the hotel pan. Do you know what I mean? The big metal pan that's huge, and you can fit like 4 or 5 skeins in it and dye them all the same. So I can't recreate that in that way of dyeing. So those would be hand painted, which I don't have the counter space to hand paint more than one at a time. So it's too labor intensive for me to actually sell that, to actually make those and sell them. So I nix that whole dye pattern of third in that way, which I was upset about, because I wanted to see how it worked out, but it doesn't matter how it worked out, because I wouldn't have been able to do it anyway. So anyway, when we did that, we just then thirded everything. I did everything in thirds, which I guess we don't have to go over, because we're not going to do it. So what I do want to talk about is the skein that did make it. Oh my god. This is so far from perfect, but it's doable for my experiment. And I'm going to show you what I did, because this might look familiar to you because it's my half and half with a twist, but it's a 3-color. Now this, as you can see, can be made in large scale batches because this is how they lay in the dish. They lay like this in the pan. So I can do top third one color, bottom third one color, middle another color. Okay? So my problem is they're not at all equal because for some reason I was going to redo that because the color is bad. So the whole night I was just thinking of redoing the color and how I was going to do different and what I was going to, even though I hadn't really done anything that would have done that, but I couldn't figure out. I was like, okay, we'll use the smaller clips. We'll use the smallest clips we can, and that'll keep stuff from, and these joins look fantastic. Cover my face. Look at these joins. They look good. Look at that. They look so good. This is just dried. I haven't even done anything like fluffed it out or anything. So good joins. They look good. And what I did was I did these first, and I like used 3 clips that were the smallest ones because I got a variety pack because I was like, I don't know what size clips I'm gonna need for this. You need the smallest ones. Don't need the big ones. They won't do anything. Because if they let the yarn move in that thing, and you don't want that. You want to clamp them down so they can't move. So I used like 3, and I actually let this blue come up farther, like maybe I'm trying to think of how I did it, because I measured this totally wrong. Because this is, I don't even know where my top is because I screwed that all up too. Oh, here's my top. Oh, that makes total sense. Why is my top right here? Why is it should not be right here? Anyway, oh my god. I somehow thought, like, these are not even equal. I somehow thought that this would be a quarter, this would be a quarter, and then this would be half. I don't know why I thought that. I don't know why I thought that at all. I'm very bad at geometry and spatial reasoning and shapes and volumes. I just know. I don't get those. So I have to work out how. And again, this came out the same color. I really want you to be able to see the red in there. Do you see this red? This like purpley red? That should not be there. It should not be there. But again, the red hit first, and because I put it into soak, right? I put the yarn into soak, well, once it's sectioned, put it into soak for like 20 minutes. Put it into soak. Maybe longer, depending on what I'm doing. This one was not as good. And I'm not sure why, because I did it the exact same way. But I got some speckles here that those were not intentional. And they're on both sides, so I don't know what happened there. I keep losing my train of thought. So anyway, I don't know why I didn't see it as equal parts, because they're thirds, right? I think somehow I thought because this was, I don't know why. But anyway, I tried to do it, okay, I measured it this way, where up and down the skein was 30 inches. So I was going to put one at 10 and one at 20. So what I did was I measured haphazardly. I measured. And then I put the clips here. And then I put the clips here. So I would have just some wiggle room because I knew the middle was going to be black. So that, then I did the colors first. I did I don't remember which one I did first. Blue? I did blue first. And it wicked again, and I got really mad. But I was like, at least if it wicks, it's going to wick up into the black. That's why I had to do this. Okay, that's why I had to do the half and half twist, the black in the middle. Because that's the only way I could get away from this monstrosity that happened, is to just not have them next to each other. But it's fine, because what is my whole goal here is to goth it up, right? You're still going to get black in between each color, right? Now the only thing I need to do is figure out how to make all of these equal. But first, I think it's right here because I measured it around and it's 68 inches, the whole thing. So it'd be 68 divided by 4 is 17. So 17, chip clip 17, chip clip 17, chip clip 17, right? It should work because this is actually 4 spaces for color, right? So, which is actually kind of easy because then it's either half and half or half and half with the twist. That's the base of everything. It won't be a third, but I mean, then your number of colors will change, I guess. You have 2 colors or 3 colors. I still want to try and make this one a 4th color next month. I think I'm going to, because I want another chance to get the thing right, the measurements right. And I think it'll be fun to see what happens in a 4 color. And even though I can't recreate that on a bigger scale, I'm still thinking maybe there's some other way, like we could resist one part, you know. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm thinking of doing, but I haven't outed the 4 colors. Because I'm trying to think if we could put like even if we can do more that way, just shorten up the colors. If this even works, we got to see if this works. So I want a shot to see if I can get them to. Anyway, let's go over the math that I wrongly did because for some reason, as I told you, well, in my defense, it was 8 o'clock. And I'm pretty sure, was that the day I got up? I had been up since 6:30 and I was exhausted. So I had planned to do that third again, but instead decided to do this when I couldn't get the thirds to line up. So I was like, I'll just do this again because I somehow remembered this as being easy. Do you remember those ones didn't line up either? I must have forgot that. Anyway, somehow I thought these were going to be a quarter and this was going to be half a skein and this was going to be another quarter. I don't know why I thought that. Like I'm sitting there going, why would I think that? I don't know. I must have been really tired and really irritated. So can we see this? We're going to go into, so our blue 1%, 1/4. Okay. So here's what I'm showing you. So in order to get 1%, we need 1 gram. Do you remember that? So 1% for 100 grams of yarn is 1 gram of dye. Okay, 1 gram. Now, since we're saying this is a quarter, this is actually what I dyed this at. And the color came out okay. The colors weren't bad. So, who knows? So, because it's a quarter, we're going to divide by 4. So 1 gram divided by 4 is 0.25 grams. So this is going to tell us how many grams we need for our blue. Now our blue we know, we do blue. So our blue is 25% deep magenta and 75% Caribbean blue. These are Dharma dyes, okay? I use Dharma dyes. Citric acid, that's how I dye. Unless I'm dyeing Stellina. So remember, you take out your phone and you ask Google, what is 25% of 0.25, and it will tell you 0.0625. And you ask your phone again, what is 75% of 0.25? And it'll say 0.1875. So remember, 06, we need two digits, because that's what my scale does. So 0.06 of deep magenta. And this 1/8, since that's a 7, we round up to 9, so 0.19 grams. And then what I should have done, but I didn't, but if you add 6 to 9 is 15, carry the 1, it's 2. So that'll give you 0.25 grams. That's a way to check if you're not sure. Like sometimes when I'm doing the rounding up or down, I check what they add up to make sure. Like sometimes it's like 0.51, or I think that's the only one we've ever had is 0.51, and I was like, that little bit isn't gonna really bother. It's not gonna make a big difference in our thing. So the next color, this is Twilight Gray from Dharma's line. And Twilight Gray, we needed a 0.5%. Actually, I'm going to check this against that and see how well that came out, because I don't know. 0.5%, so quarter. 0.5 grams. So remember, if we need 0.5% on a full skein, we're going to need 0.5 grams, right? So we divide that by 4 and we get 125, round up the 5 to 3, so 0.13 grams, not hard. Half black at 3%. I still don't know what. But anyway, 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. I'm trying to remember if I did 1.5 or if I did 1, because I, at that point, was like, what am I doing? Why do I think this is... I think I might have just done 1 gram. I'm pretty sure I just did 1 gram of the black. Okay, so that's everything on here. So next time I'm going to see if I can... oh wait, that one's not on here, because that is its own separate color. So anyway, I'm probably put off of making blue ever again in my life. What did I say that was? Twilight green? Twilight gray. Twilight green. What? Twilight gray 0.5? Here's my Twilight gray 0.5. Twilight gray 0.5. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Perfection, you guys. What was up with the blue? I'm serious, like, to have that happen twice. I don't know what happened. I mean, obviously, there's so much red. Like, it's so purple. It's like you can see the purple bits where the red is, or the magenta. Oh my God, can you see this right here? Oh. Right here. Do you see that purple? That is purple. Purple, purple, purple. So, I mean, the skein doesn't look terrible, honestly. It doesn't look terrible. The obvious, you know, the things are off. The measurements are way off, like they were in our last. But these two are fine. Which one was fine? One of them was fine. No, one of them wasn't fine. I could have sworn. Oh, was it the other one that they were fine? It was the other one that they were fine. So I'm gonna really have to. God, this skein is just a mess. Look at it. It's gonna not. So anyway, I'm thinking this is gonna look a lot like this, but we'll get. I'm curious to see if we'll get like blue here, gray here, and then where the color is going to come. I'm still hoping for next month, if I can get this done, we'll just make one of the ones. But see, I'm worried about the colors bleeding like that. I mean, I've never had something wick that badly. I've never had anything wick that much and that badly. Like, that's a lot of wicking. And it just didn't want to stop. It just really did not want to stop. And anyway, I'm thinking if we do this, because this is all to get me ready to sell, right? Get me closer to selling, getting me closer to my colorways that will be worked up in a way that you know. I mean, along with the variegated and other things I have ideas for, but these were things that I wanted specifically to see on my shawls, so you can buy these, pick your colors, and you'll have an idea of what it will work out at if you're going to use one of my free patterns to do it. I'm trying to figure out how I can get better at the transition parts, the joins of the colors. But I think when I'm doing these in a pan, it's not going to matter as much, because there's not as much movement when you have low immersion in a pan like that. And I'm doing these in pretty much full immersion because I need the yarn to be able to move around so I get even color. So the trade-off is you either get even color or you get quick striking color, and that isn't always even. And I really like even color. I really like even color that isn't tonal, that looks the same in each spot, which is gray is great. I don't know if it looks that way. It looks like it's looking a little red, but it's not red at all. I thought it went good with the blue too. I was trying to get like some enough contrast between all three of them that it would work. But I thought it would be a good idea to have, I thought of an idea. What if we did, like, to do more colors, we just did like a color and a color, however many colors, but then we have black over the joins. Maybe I do that. I feel like I want color, but I also want there to be a lot of black. And not, this is too bright of a color for me normally, but I wanted to have enough contrast, because I thought if it's next to the black, you'll see, if it's next to the gray, you'll see it, and if it's next to the black, you'll see it. Like, I wanted to make sure you could see all these colors, that they were easily distinguished from each other. So in that part, I think we did well. I still don't know why this did not. My dyes aren't old either. I don't know what. I'm like trying to rack my brain for what the problem could have been, and I honestly don't know. But I'm not making this blue again, I can tell you that. I've had trouble with reds and blues. They are the hardest dyes. Like, the blue never wants to, the blue and the magenta never want to exhaust fully. Red, if you have a red, those, as soon as I mix it up, it turns to gel. So I don't like to use red. That's why I don't use the primaries. Also my blue, my other blue that I used before this blue, because this is now, I use cyan, I used to use blue. That one wouldn't mix. It would never mix for me ever. So it was always speckly blue, and there were reds in it, and there were all these different colors in it, and it was terrible. And it was supposed to be a primary, and I was like, what is wrong with this color? And then I did some research and found out that those are actual problems that happened with the dyes used for those colors. That is why I moved to CMYK to use cyan and magenta, yellow and black. And so much easier. This isn't speckled. All of the dyes dissolved properly. It's just that they bind at different times in the process, which is terrible, and it's really disheartening. And it must be the red or the magenta and the cyan, because when I did cyan and yellow, I didn't have a problem because that green is cyan and yellow. Do you remember that? But maybe the black, maybe having the black in there did something. Maybe I have to put black in it to do something. Maybe that would have made a difference. Who knows? I don't know. So anyway, now for next month, I have no idea what I'm going to do other than I'm going to try to do this again. I'm thinking instead of doing 4 colors, like I said, of trying to take one out, I might do just smaller repeats and add in another color and see if we can do like smaller bits of black in between. That might be more fun, and that is something I can recreate in the pan coming up. So that's where my thoughts are at for that right now. I think that's entirely doable, to just go smaller. If I have, the whole thing is that it is so hard to work on. It's like trying to give a dog a bath. There's water everywhere. It's kicking you in the face, it's trying to jump out, and you're like, no, get back here. It's like nothing. Like, look at how this just got so mangled just being handled like that. I actually do like how this came out, this speckling. I really like that a lot. Like, if this was for me, I probably would have been like, F it, and then just speckled black on it. It just have been like, just to go with it. Like, I'll go with it. We'll just speckle the whole part. But I'm just not, I don't know why that join, see, now I'm like gun shy now because of that join went so horribly wrong. I'm a little shy about it now. I'm not sure I want to jump in again to do that. Oh, did I tell you what I named this? I named this Endless Winter. I don't know, icy blue, gray, I don't know. That's the one I went with. This Endless Winter. So I'm gonna cake this up and figure out what I'm gonna do. I mean, it's gonna be it'll be a full stockinette. I think all of them are going, all of these are going to start out on a full stockinette, so we can see what happens. If it is working up too similar to that, I might cut it halfway and do the mesh lace. I might do that. That is a possibility. We could do that, because I do like the idea of a mesh lace, like for that in between, like spring and fall, So we could have some, this is like a more fall and winter. Well, this could be all 3 too, but then something just a little lighter, so you could have more mesh here. But I'm going to at least get down to 40 grams. I think that gives us a good representation of how the colors are pooling. And then if it's looking too similar to this, then we'll just mesh the rest of the way down. Because then we can see what that would look like. That'll be some way to show. But I don't know. I'm kind of wanting one of stockinette and everything, just so we have a clear. But now I'm thinking this just ruined with where the end is, because I wanted the end at the top with, oh, it's not there. Where's the end? Because I wanted it to be the top of this. Oh, it is the top of the skein. Okay, so our end this time is gray. Here's the top of the skein. I wanted this to be blue. Oh, that's what I should have done. I should have just popped it this way, and it could have been part of the black, because I want the start to always be black. That way we know. I'm not going to dye this a third time, although I could, and not use blue. I could do this a third time and do purple like I wanted to. Oh my god, you guys, should I? I wonder how much my husband would hate me if I just like cranked on my dye pots right now. It takes like 2 hours to get up to oh god, don't make me do that. I'm gonna do it, aren't I? Oh my god. Okay. I want to. Oh, I want to real bad. I want to real bad. You guys, I really want to. This is terrible. He's gonna get so mad at me. He's gonna be like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I've never messed up twice before. I mean, usually when I mess up, I go, oh, okay. And then I learn, well, these technically aren't the same screw ups. I mean, this is totally, the placement is still. See, now if you look at it this way, the quarter and the half makes sense. Right? Oh my god, that's hilarious. See? Quarter, that's where I was going, I guess. Oh my god, that's hilarious to me. Hilarious. Because if we do them all the same, if we do the 17 where they're all the same, then that is quarter and quarter, and if two are the same, that's double. That's where my mind was going, was that they would be equal parts, right? Okay, so that does make sense. Okay, I thought I lost my mind there for a minute. Like, why did I think this was going to be double? So it actually, this is a great representation of what I was trying to do. I wonder why that didn't work. Looks like I was a little bit short here. We could have come up a little bit more on the brown, on the black. We probably would have been, I probably could just hand paint through the black a little bit, and I might have it. Okay, I'm not entirely sure this one's finished. Maybe I will. No, because still it's not the gray. It's the gray is going to be. The gray is on the wrong color. I mean, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do, and now I feel like I'm in front of everybody naked and you're seeing all my flaws and all my insecurities. Not everything has to be perfect. Not everything has to be perfect. Not everything has to be perfect. Anyway. How's your day going? Okay, that's about it. I think we talked about everything. Oh, great. It got pulled somewhere along the way. Of course it did. I feel like I'm not even enjoying that I've finished stuff, but because I keep looking forward at what is left to be done, but I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do with this skein. If I just add more black, that might just be fine, and I can just make up 1% and just spray at it until make the lines and spray it, and then steam it. So I actually technically don't even have to fire up the dye pots because I can just hand paint it. That would probably give me more control. And then next week we could do try it again. Get it sectioned into, well then if I've already got sectioned into 4, I have no need to do that. So then we could section that off into more colors. Maybe do more colors and do smaller black parts in between. Maybe do, I'll have to work out that 17. We'll work out that 68. Play with that a little bit and see what we can do. Maybe we'll just do that. If you have any suggestions, please put them below. I'd love to hear any ideas that you have. Trying to figure out if I want to just, I'm like, while we're at it, I could just add more red and make this purple. Right? I could just add more red and make it purple. Just why not go all the way? So I could fix this and make them even in purple. Maybe. We'll see what my husband says when I approach it to him. Not that he's going to care either way, just that he's at work right now in our kitchen dining room. It's the same area. And my dye room is usually the sunroom, but it's still winter, so my dye room is the kitchen, and it's right by his desk. And I already was there 2 days in a row, so I'm sure he's tired of making noise and bothering him. The other day I went up to him and just stood next to him and just stared at him. I'm going to be divorced by the end of this pandemic, I just know it. What do you think? Do you think I should fix this? Should I fix it? Should I try all over again? I really don't want to ruin 2 skeins, but I feel like I could fix this without it being much of a problem. Maybe I'll fix it, see if I can get everything even, and then, because I don't think anything's shifted yet to where, I mean, they're all pretty close to, I mean, that end's going to get cut off, so that doesn't matter. But everything's pretty, that hasn't shifted. That's all pretty much there. And that's just black's gonna move up a little bit more anyway on this. I'm going to try to fix this, and then it may or may not be blue next time. So maybe keep an eye out on Facebook, Instagram. See what happens. If not, you can be surprised next week if you want to. But yeah, I think I'm going to try to fix this. Since I think I can. This one is beyond. This goes in my pile of yarn to over dye, this will be easy because I just got to dye a third of it black. That won't be hard at all. Will not be a problem. It should come out real nice. I'm like, over dyeing is old hat for me, especially if it's going black, and it's not even a problem. It'll be easy. So yeah, guys, thanks for joining me today. Do you like that? I'm starting to, I don't know, I did the thing again where you just kind of flip it back like that. It's kind of easy because you take the back part and you just line it up and hold it, and then you take this part and just go, when you get close it gets it. But I like how it, I kind of like how it looks. I don't like how it keeps grabbing my camera thinking it's an eyeball or something. Anyway, I was pretty excited. We got everything done from last month like I said we would, because of course. I think I'm going to have a lot of time left over on my nights, and I don't know what to do. I have like one more spring top to do in the Cascade 220. I have one more, and then the rest of them are the Webs Northampton. But those are dark colors, so I wouldn't be wearing them right now anyway, and there's nothing to say I can't do those, but I'm wondering if there's other things I could be doing, like if there's any, like, what am I looking for? Any, like shawls, like we want to do some different things with the shawls, right? So, I could be doing some of that. Now, it wouldn't be on the base, but I do have some that are that same length. I think we have 3. Well, Haute knit is all of hers. The Mitchell's creations are hers, but I only have one of those that I don't have anything to do with. And then the other one was that Black and Rose. So I went through my stash and found like 3 that I didn't have a plan for that could be done using my pattern. But I'm not quite sure that's necessary, because if I'm going to teach you, and not next week, but the week after. So next week is the triangle bias shawl, triangle bias experiments that we did. The one after that, I'm going to show you how to weigh your stuff and how to kind of design your ending, kind of design your the end of your shawl, because this is what I want to teach you with my shawls. So you can use any type of any dyer's yarn. You could use like Cascade, you could use Haute knit, you could use Honey Girl Farms, you could use Lola Bean, you could use anybody's yarn you want. So you could use Mad Tosh if that's your thing, or Malabrigo, or whatever. So I want to teach you how to use the weight of your skein to help read where you are and what you can do and stuff like that. So that's going to be the following episode after next week's episode. And that one I am going to actually sit down and write stuff down, and that's not going to be just me sitting here trying to remember things. I'm actually do work for that one. So anyway, I'm going to sign off, because what do I want to do with that? Thank you for joining me, as always. I'm so glad that you're here, and come join the Ravelry group if you want to help with the test knit along. We don't have that many people. Like I said, I only have two other people. I'm in there twice, as me and then as Morning Dew Studio. So I have 2 people there that I don't recognize from anywhere, so say hi. So if you want to like bring your friends, maybe if they think they'd want to do shawls, if you have people that love to do shawls that want to do some test knits. This is the only one up right now, because I'd like to have it, I want to have some sort of plan and structure for the test knit. So yeah, come join us if you'd like to. And yes, I will see you next week. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.